Well, welcome to video 3 in our introduction to value. In this video, I will demonstrate the 3 types of value scales that we're going to execute. First one being tonal, where each block is filled in with the same tonal value and they gradually go from black to white. Crosshatching, where you're going to vary the number of intersecting and parallel lines depending on how close together they are and how many lines to achieve the darkest black to the white. And linear, which the lines all move in the same direction and the value is controlled by how close together the lines are made. So you can see that from dark to light. And the handout has some little written tips for each one that you can refer to. So we want to make sure you put your name and put your block at the top and get your erasers, eraser shield, have you a pencil sharpener, and possibly a paper stump if you feel like you might use that. And a good reference tool while doing this would also be the Discovering Drawing textbook, particularly pages 34 and 35. And on to the demonstration of the tonal method value scale. Now, I will be the first one to tell you that my way is not the only way. In art, typically there are multiple ways to get to the same outcome, and I'm going to show you the way that I like to work. I'm going to start with the black, and I'm going to use my number 2 pencil on its side, and I'm going to work to achieve the darkest black that I can achieve. And I'm going to work very carefully. I want this to be neat. And I want to get right along the edges. And so I'm giving it a good heavy pressure. Now, if at any time you get outside the block, or maybe you move into the next block, let's say you sort of slip and do this, just so it doesn't disturb what you want to do in the next block, you can always take your eraser shield and take your eraser. So there we have the black. I'm going to work the other direction a little bit just to smooth that out. Sort of squint your eyes and see if you missed any spots. So there's the first tone, black. Now I'm going to work one tone lighter, and it's just a matter of getting the right pressure. If you get some dark spots, use a kneaded eraser just to pick up some of the dark places and rework those. Nice and smooth, nice and easy. You may find you need to go back over this first one again. You may find that you want to lighten this one in places. Just give it a comparison to the scale that you've been given. You can use your blending stump, paper stump at any time to help smooth out your values. There is an example of a tonal value scale from black to white in just as even as a tone as we can make that. It's okay to go back and rework the blocks prior. Squint your eyes and see if you are getting a gradual change in value. Next, we'll be creating our value scale using cross-hatching, and that will be using a series of intersecting parallel lines depending on how close together and how many lines and the directions will create the values. Now again, to the right hand side you've got some written directions. For instance, the black value is lines in 4 directions very close together. So you'll have a vertical set of parallel lines, a horizontal sets of parallel lines, and then you'll have 2 diagonals, one going this direction and then the other diagonal going this way. And you start letting up on the number of lines and even start dropping off the directions of the lines and spacing the lines out differently as you work from black to white. So I will demonstrate that now. Very much the same idea as tonal. We want to go from black to white. And here we are to our last value scale, which is linear value scale. And very similar to cross-hatching, you're going to make the lines very saturated, very close together on the black end of the scale, and you're going to decrease the saturation of lines and spread them out as you move toward the white. And as I'd said earlier, this is the way I like to work. I like to work from the dark to the light. The directions on here are given a little more as if you were working from the light to the increasingly dark. But I'm going to show you how I work from dark to light on this one. Okay, so we'll get ready to go here. Working in one direction, I chose to work on the diagonal. And from there you can look it over, make any adjustments, step back from it, squint a little bit, see how your value gradations look against each other. Lift with an eraser as you need, add some more lines as you need. Now the nice thing is you can go back and watch any portions of these videos that you need to. Make sure to neaten everything up. And there you have it. That should give you 3 out of a many of number of ways that you can begin adding value to your artwork.